How often can you say that you have bought a mid-engined rear-wheel drive sports car for £5,000? Well, you can, and it's this, the Toyota MR2, and it might be one of the last true bargains out there. This is the third generation Toyota MR2, a car that dared to go mid-engined, rear-wheel drive and featherweight at a time when most small sports cars played it safe. It was affordable, agile and totally unique, but it also split opinions when it launched. So today we're finding out whether this little roadster is just a quirky throwback or one of the greatest hidden gems you can buy for under £5,000. I'm Max Davani, welcome to Driven Plus. So, the year is 2001 and the first Fast and Furious film has just come out in the cinemas, and it featured the legendary A80 Mark IV Supra, which made it an instant icon. Toyota then ended the Supra's production in 2002, but didn't replace it, no idea why. Yes, you had the Celica, but the only Toyota sports car left with a rear-wheel drive and manual gearbox layout was this. And back in the early 2000s, to buy one of these brand new from Toyota, it would have cost you £20,000. And that's the equivalent of spending £37,000 on a sports car in today's money. And you can't buy a car like this for that money today. The only thing I can liken it to is the Alpine A110, but that car didn't come with a manual gearbox. So thinking of it, £5,000 for this car is a bargain. But one thing I instantly love is the engine. It just makes a lovely tone. It sounds JDM, doesn't it? And it's full of character and it pulls well. It's not a slow car, this. And another thing I like is the position of the pedals. Perfect for rev matching. Put it through a corner here. Just feel the balance of this car. It pivots around a corner and the engine's got good power, good torque. It's a light car. It doesn't need a lot. But anyway, let's check out that engine. Now, because this car was all about its lightweight philosophy, it did not need a big and powerful engine. And so it had a 1.8 litre inline-4 VVTi engine. VVTi obviously meaning variable valve timing individual. Now, Toyota offered these with three different types of transmission. 5 or 6-speed manual, this has the 6-speed manual, or a 5-speed automated manual. Yuck. This has 138 horsepower, 171 newton meters of torque, and Toyota say it will do a 0 to 60 time of 9.3 seconds, but we're going to find out. So this car doesn't have launch control, so it's all in the driver, but I just feel as if the 9.3 second claim time is a bit conservative. So let's try and get better than that. On your screen now are the stats and figures on this car, so pause your screen if you'd like to look into them. All right, let's go for it. Not bad. Oh yes, we're in the 8-second mark, and we did beat it as well. 8.99 seconds. I thought that was a pretty good launch, to be fair. Near enough flat. And we're 0.01 seconds off 9 seconds, so we're almost just over 0.3 seconds quicker than what Toyota say. But anyway, that's what it stacks up against. Let's go back to the review. Step inside the MR2 and you are immediately greeted by simplicity. There's nothing fancy going on here, it's just a driver-focused interior, and that's what I like about it. I just like simple interiors, and it's exactly how you'd expect a Toyota from the early 2000s to be. A lot of hard plastics going on, but it's all for lightweight. This car hasn't been made to be premium, it's just been made to deliver you a fun drive, and it does. Here's your manual gearbox with a lovely aluminium billet there that feels nice in the palm of your hand. Steering wheel is lovely and thin, and behind them is 3 very clear dials. What else do you need? Storage units, you are limited in here. There's not much space going on. Very small door card. Glove box is probably the biggest storage unit you get in here. Get a little bit of a cup holder in the middle, and behind the driver and passenger seat you get a little storage cubby as well to potentially fit a bag in, and obviously here's your roof as well. To bring the roof down, you've got 2 clips either side there, 12-volt socket down there, and an ashtray. And there's 2 cup holders that come out there. That's fantastic. Quite small though. You might just fit a can in, but who cares? You also get an additional storage unit in the front of the car, and it's this little plastic thing here, and on the top there it says midship runabout. That's what MR stands for, obviously MR and then 2. And you lift this flap up, and as you can see, it's the perfect shape for a spare tyre, but it has been taken out because, well, why wouldn't you? It takes weight out of the car, and you've got an additional storage unit there. Lightweight was this car's philosophy. It weighs just under 1 ton. So how did they do that? Well, they kept everything simple. And if you squint really, really hardly, it looks like a first generation Porsche Boxster. And now all the Porsche owners are rattled. Type in the comments. Now, I believe all UK spec MR2s came with an LSD as standard. Now, I know you're not going to massively notice it on the road, but on a track you are. But anyway, whilst we're here, Steve, let's hear this MR2 sing. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Inline 4, naturally aspirated JDM engine. Let's get back onto the road. I think these MR2s are often overlooked. People just buy an MX-5 instead, or a Ferrari body kit, but I think you should buy one of these instead because it's got better driving dynamics, it's mid-engined, and you don't see them as much. And that's got me thinking, what other lightweight sports cars can you buy sub £5,000? Well, there's actually quite a few to choose from. And the first one, which I've just mentioned there, is obviously the Mazda MX-5, which everyone seems to go for. Then you've got the first generation Audi TT, and I've reviewed one of them. If you want to watch my review on that car with the 2-litre BAM engine in, click on the pop-up banner now. BMW Z3 as well. Although I'm a BMW enthusiast, I'd still rather this because it is mid-engine. So what other mid-engine sports cars can you buy sub £5,000? Well, you've got the MGTF, but I'm not so sure on the look of them. I think I'd still rather this. And then the other one is the Smart Roadster. They're quite cool, especially in Brabus spec, but I think they're quite ugly from the rear end. So I think this car is kind of in a class of its own. You're obviously getting reliability with that Toyota badge. It's very fun. I mean, all those cars I've just mentioned there are fun anyway, so there's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you prefer. And this thing drives exactly how you'd expect a lightweight mid-engine sports car that weighs under a ton to drive. Firstly, let's get it up to speed. And it's not the fastest of things, and the engine, you know, makes a nice noise whilst getting there. We've got some corners coming up here, but once you maintain 60 miles per hour, you can just keep that gliding through the bends, and you can just feel the sheer balance of this car. Pivot round a corner, the balance and the way you position this car on the road is fantastic. It's cheeky, it's fun. I love a lightweight sports car, especially mid-engined, and this drives a lot better than I thought it'd be as well. You know, because when you first look at this car, you think, what, 140 horsepower? Really? No, it's all in its weight. That's where it is. And as I mentioned before, obviously UK spec cars get an LSD, and that doesn't necessarily make a big difference on road driving like today, but it would on a track, and this thing would be an absolute weapon on a track. But I just feel as if, I don't know whether it's me, it could just do with 20 or 30 horsepower more. And the manual gearbox is lovely. I like the fact you get 6 gears, which is obviously the facelift MR2. It has to be a little bit critical though, as I said, you know, the throws are a little bit too long for a sports car, but I'm sure you can buy a short shifter for one of these. Steering feel is very good, it feels very natural. You have got an electric system motor in the front, but let's see what the engine is like. Let's go down to third. I'm just going to build the revs up now, so 5,500 revs. There, just after 5,500 revs, just below 6,000, you just seem to get a drop off in torque, and I think the sweet spot is probably around 4,500 to 5,500. I might be totally wrong in terms of the actual facts, but that's what I feel like, and it makes a beautiful noise whilst doing that, doesn't it? But it's just such a cheeky fun car to have a load of fun, and it just goes to show you don't need 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 horsepower to have fun. It's all in its way, and it's just, you stick it through some bends. And this is a great road to come and test your MR2, where I am today. And this is called the Nantigarth Pass. A lot of the local people will know what I'm on about, because it's a fantastic road for car enthusiasts, bikers as well. Just be careful though, that's all I'm saying. And still, to this day, Toyota have never brought back the MR2. I've heard rumours that they're going to bring back the Celica, but not the MR2. Maybe Ferrari are going to be pissed off. Everyone knows the story between MR2s and Ferraris, right? I think Toyota ended the production of this generation MR2 in 2007, and that's when things didn't go too well for Toyota, if I was to be honest. From an enthusiast's point of view, they focused on economy and efficiency, and the Prius boom was happening, and I just think there's a bit of a kind of a numb spot in Toyota's history between probably 2005-ish to the late 2010s, if you think of it. And now they're only starting to come back with cool cars again. GR Yaris, GR Corolla, which we don't get. Supra's back. What else have we got? Obviously the GT86, GR86. Mind you, they did bring back the GT86 in 2012. So there was a gap between the late 2000s and early 2010s where Toyota was non-existent from a car enthusiast, which has never happened in its past before. That'll always really hurt me, that, because I was a big fan of Toyota sports cars and massive fan of Toyotas in general because of my love for the Land Cruiser. So when I come back in an early generation 2000 Toyotas, I feel at home because all the switchgear is the same and I like it a lot. So what's my thoughts on the MR2? Well, at the start of the video I mentioned this either being a quirky throwback or a £5,000 bargain. It's a £5,000 bargain all day long. If you've got £5,000 to spend on a sports car, this is your buy. It's going to provide you with great fun. It gives you the thrill. And do you know what? It's a relatively comfortable car as well. Although I'm near 6 foot, just below, but I say I'm near 6 foot. I don't feel small in here. And the ergonomics is good. It's a great place to be. You can actually go for a long drive. These fabric seats are really comfortable. So if you're trying to pass it by the wife, just show her that sentence and say, you know, I've just said it's comfortable. There you go, you've got your ticket to buy one. You're welcome. But I'd like to say a huge thanks to Steve for coming down today and letting me get a video on the MR2. And if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.